Hi, welcome again to another session of J Nation Online 2020. We're going strong. We have a lot of viewers in, so last couple sessions we're having 200, 300 viewers, which is great. Really happy for that, so thank you so much for all the support. And here with me from Eclipse Foundation, I have Tanja. Hi, Tanja, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you very much. So today you're going to talk us a little bit about the Cloud Native initiative about Java at the Eclipse Foundation, right?
Yes, that's correct. I will be primarily focusing on Jakarta EE, but I will let you know about some other initiatives and projects that are cloud native Java related at the Eclipse Foundation.
Wonderful. I'll be very happy to hear about that. So for the audience that are here with us, so feel free to post any questions that you might have to Tanja, either on our Slack or YouTube chat. I'll be happy to relay them back to Tanja when the time is right. So without any further delay, so Tanja, the screen is yours. Please feel free to start. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you everyone for joining the session today. I want to start with that. And as mentioned, I will be telling you a little bit more about the cloud native Java initiatives and projects, open source projects at the Eclipse Foundation. And I do want to recognize that we're living in a quite a difficult time. So I do hope that you and all of yours are healthy and are safe. So hopefully next time around I'll be able to meet you in person at the J Nation. But I'm thrilled I have this opportunity to talk to you today.
Oh, we
So
will be happy to have you here, pretty sure.
thank you, Roberta. So moving on, this is what I'm going to talk about. I will be talking about Java EE and the big move that we call the move to Eclipse Foundation. I'll let you know what is new with regards to those projects. I will tell you a little bit more about Jakarta EE8, the first release within Eclipse Foundation. I'll tell you what's next. I will let you know what we did in terms of the community engagement. I would love to have you involved with the Jakarta EE related projects. And then I will tell you a little bit more about the Eclipse Foundation. So without going any further, I'll just focus on and recognize that over the years, we're continuously getting the rating of the Java as the dominant programming language in the world. Now, looking into the outside surveys, but also the surveys that are run, developer surveys that are run from the Eclipse Foundation, we're also gathering information not only about Java, but Java EE as well. So looking at those surveys, it is really apparent, and it's jumping right into it has to make an impact to you that we have over 10 million Java developers worldwide, that most prominent companies in the world are running 90% of them are running Java EE applications, and that vast majority of the companies out there are using Java in their production systems. So this information actually comes from the 2018 developer survey, but I can confirm that we have not received much different results last year, and all the indications are that even this year we will have a very similar information. So what are the reasons why are organizations relying on Java EE so much? Well, as we know, the Java EE is providing stability, portability, scalability, And it's not surprising that stability in the surveys is coming as a number one reason for using Java EE. It is also the fact that we are providing specifications that developers can use for developing their enterprise applications. And of course, as we saw, the availability of Java developers is the additional reason as well. As a fourth reason, just to let you know, it came out that multiple vendors that are implementing Java EE is also one of the reasons why people are so interested in Java EE. So with that excitement about Java and Java EE, it is no wonder that we at the Eclipse Foundation are thrilled that in September 2017, Java EE technologies were announced to be contributed to Eclipse Foundation. And then after consultation with the community, it has been decided that we will continue evolving the technologies under name of Jakarta EE. So that is the connection between the Java EE and Jakarta EE. And soon after, the parties that are interested in advancing these technologies were also that they set that the priorities for the involvement of Jakarta EE. And they're focused on the cloud native, on ensuring that multi-cloud environments are relevant. Jakarta EE is very relevant to the multi-cloud environments and have multi-cloud vendors supporting the Jakarta EE, focusing on the innovation. As we mentioned, there are tons of applications already built on Java EE, so ensuring the protection of the existing investment, and businesses are running on the those applications, so wanted to ensure that we can manage and minimize the risk for those as well. Want to ensure the open standards, and I'll talk about the specification process that we're using for developing Jakarta EE specifications. And then, of course, with all of this, modernize developer experience. So what exactly is new? So we're working on the Jakarta E9 release, and it's well underway. In September 2019, we have released the first release of Jakarta EE, and it is Jakarta E8. So we provided a full platform and web profile specifications and, of course, related TCKs. We're thrilled that we're having a growing list of Jakarta EE compatible implementations and compatible products. We are also beyond excited that Eclipse MicroProfile is really getting on the radar and is vendor neutral cloud native Java microservice specification. And with all of this, we have kind of gathered a community that is working on Jakarta EE and related cloud native technologies. And they have pretty much a good vision of where they want to go with these technologies. What's new? The new is also with the Eclipse Foundation and momentum, some of the changes that we're making, and some of the focus areas that if we get to, I'll touch on that at the end of this presentation. I just want to point out that besides Jakarta EE and MicroProfile, there are other cloud native Java open source projects that hopefully you're already familiar with, and you can take part in advancing those as well. Just to mention a few, it's Eclipse Chi. It is the IDE that is kind of geared towards cloud application development. It is really enabling developers to sit down and almost without any configuration and installation time work on their projects. Eclipse Glassfish, I have to mention that it is the implementation of the Jakarta EE specifications. Jetty, I'm sure you're familiar with the HTTP server and the servlet implementation. OpenJ9 as the high performance and scalable JVM. JMO is the kind of the multi-cloud function as a service implementation that takes advantage of Kubernetes and provides the abstraction layer so you can work with independently of any cloud service providers. And then also Vertex that is used for building reactive applications. It is the polyglot and event-driven application framework. So plenty of projects to get involved in and choose from. So with Jakarta EE projects, what has been taking place is the forming of Jakarta EE working group. And that working group is providing the governance and overlooking the advancement of Jakarta EE technologies. It is the group that is, we call it the industry consortium, that is focused on engaging the community into advancing Jakarta EE. It is enabling community to work on the specifications, develop specifications, create new specifications, and also is the consortium that is approving the specifications in any of the new releases of Jakarta EE. It is with the Eclipse Foundation creating and promoting and driving Jakarta EE brand. As we saw, defines technical direction and technical map and ensures compatibility with for the implementations that are interested in this technology. So this whole move to from Java EE to Jakarta EE made a huge impact on here at the Eclipse Foundation. Currently, we have 16 member organizations working on Jakarta EE. But as you can see on this slide, I don't want to read all the numbers, but it's interesting to see that we have almost 65.8, or actually 65 million lines of code. 140-ish Git repositories. Now these numbers are changing as the Jakarta EE evolves. But for the organization of the Eclipse Foundation size, this was a tremendous impact, and no wonder we're extremely excited about the project. So what exactly has Jakarta EE brought to all of us? So what we wanted to achieve with Jakarta E8 is to open the whole technologies to the community, obviously with open source, and with everyone who is involved, make sure that we have the vendor neutral participation and vendor neutral process. So first of all, we wanted to focus that we have the full compatibility with with Java E8. So we can ensure that transition from Java E8 to Jakarta E8 is very easy and seamless. We wanted to establish the open specification process and open specifications, open source TCK licensing and certification process, enable compatible implementations, and then establish the fully transparent branding process. So how do we ensure that we're fully compatible with Java E8? You probably are aware of some of the conversations that we had or controversy and restrictions about the use of the JAVAX namespace. However, for the release 8, we wanted and made sure that we're using the same APIs and same Java docs with regards to the namespace. So the behavior of the Jakarta E8 is exactly the same as Java E8. And if there are any applications using JAVAX namespace, JAVAX API, that they would be able to use that in the Jakarta E8 as well. So no requirement for making any changes whatsoever. And then we also wanted to make sure that implementations that are passing Java E8 TCKs are also able and with ease can pass Jakarta E8 TCKs. In terms of the open specifications, so if any of you are familiar with the Eclipse Foundation development process, that is well established and used for developing open source projects, we have modified that existing process to tailor it and create Eclipse Foundation specification process for development of the specifications. And that one was used for establishing the Jakarta E specification process. There are differences between JESP or Jakarta E specification process and JCP, the process that was used for developing Java EE. Here we're listing, let's call them top 5. So first of all, we're encouraging people to do the code first. So do your experimenting in code, make sure that it is working and it's worth of creating a specification for it, and then create the specification. The process of developing specifications is fully collaborative, and there are no special roles when working on the specification related projects. We do have a project lead that is used as a point of contact for everyone from outside of the particular specification project. However, that role does not have any special powers or privileges, and is certainly not equivalent to the specification lead in the JCP. The documents in TCKs are fully transparent and open source now, and everyone can have a look at the TCKs and make sure that they have their a proper understanding of what specification is trying to achieve, and get involved and make changes if there is need for that. As opposed to JCP, we are open to have one or more compatible implementations, not having just a one reference implementation. And then the certification process is self-driven. So basically, a vendor can do their certification, provide results, and I will list a little bit later where you can go and find the information on how to go through the certification process and further, you know, get listed on the compatibility implementation page. Now, we're all excited about the whole projects being now open source, but it seems that with the developers, the most excitement has been around the open source TCKs. So right now we have the situation where at the Eclipse Foundation, the TCKs are completely opened, and everyone can have a look in what exactly are the requirements for the certification, and what is the value of the certification. And we have in that way, we're opening the TCKs for the community to get involved and to participate. So that is the openness. And with everyone being involved and ensuring it's a equal opportunity for everyone involved to contribute to the TCKs, we have a shared burden as well, right? So it is not anymore a single vendor responsibility. It is responsibility of the whole community to, you know, maintain the work and provide quality for the TCKs and other projects as well. And that shared burden is actually resulting in the vendor neutrality and continuity. So as I mentioned, it's not a single vendor anymore. And with this group that is involved in Jakarta EE, even if one party in unlikely scenario decides not to invest in this technology any longer, there is the ensured continuity with other members as well. So fully transparent branding process. We really want to make sure that with your products that are complied and can claim the compatibility with the TCKs, can provide your products with quality, portability, and scalability requirements from your customers. You're also whoever is complying with the process is demonstrating that the organization is collaborating with Jakarta EE industry and world leaders. It is strengthening the partnership in building the Jakarta EE brand. And it definitely is showing the support for the Jakarta EE community. So here I'm listing directly from our website, and please make sure that Jakarta.ee is the website for you to go, where you can have a look about the information related to Jakarta EE. It is here where you can find out the information about how you can get listed and take the advantage of the Jakarta EE brand. So what are the compatible implementations? So we're thrilled to have, as I mentioned earlier, 12 compatible products at this point. So 8 products with full platform compatibility, and then 4 products with web profile compatibility. So we're listing here the major vendors and actually products. And just want to point out what interest Jakarta EE has out there with the implementation products. In last 8 months since Java EE has been released, we had a significantly larger number of implementations than what Java EE had in over 2.5 years of its existence. So we're really proud of that. So who are the industry leaders? So those here are the organization members, and we are proud to have 6 strategic members. Recently, we have Primetone as the enterprise member, and we have a most recent member, I have to say, is Managed Cat, the company that just joined the participant members group. And we're looking forward to grow this list in terms of the organization members. We're not mentioning here the individual members, but we're absolutely welcoming them as well. Just a few words on the microprofile. As I mentioned earlier, there was a need for vendor-neutral Java microservices set of specifications that are a natural extension of the Java EE developers' existing skill set. So we have Eclipse MicroProfile project that you can get involved in, and I know Roberto is here very active in this project as well. So
oh yeah, so yeah, that's sorry, I mean, you're mentioning, and yeah, I'm working a lot on microprofile, so if you feel that I can help with any microprofile stuff, please let me know.
yes,
For the audience,
absolutely,
right?
yes, and please audience get involved and have a look at what Eclipse MicroProfile 3.3 release is now offering, and just 2 sets of specifications. So MicroProfile 3.3 has these 12 specifications that are kind of circled, and then there is a set you can see on the screen also standalone specifications that are being worked on. I also want to point out, and you will see that some of the, and I believe all of the bottom list from the last row for CDI, JXRS, JSON-B, and JSON-P are the also Jakarta EE related specifications. So it is very natural extension for Jakarta EE developer to work with microprofile as well. So here are the microprofile implementations. I'm sure I will be providing this list to you a little bit later on. So you have the hyperlink here on the slide to view other microprofile implementations as well. So what is next? So here is the technical direction from the Jakarta EE working group, and something that we would like to focus on. So I will not read through the list, but please do note that the list is quite ambitious, that we will need a lot of help in order to continue and achieve some of the objectives or principles listed here. So again, invitation to keep your eye on it and get involved. So just a little bit of a summary right now in terms of the where are we at to date, and where are we going. So we started with Glassfish 5.0 and Java EE8. We moved Java EE8 to Eclipse Foundation. And once we had Java EE8 at Eclipse Foundation, we made sure that we can do all the compilations and builds of the specifications. And then we produced the Eclipse Glassfish 5.1, now completely running on the Eclipse Foundation infrastructure. After that, so that happened, I believe, in January 2019. Then in September 2019, we produced the Jakarta E8 release with the JAVAX namespace, with the new specification process, with the new licensing and the new logo. And then we made sure that Eclipse Glassfish is certifiable and can run on Jakarta E8. And then, as we were noting earlier, we're currently working on Jakarta EE9, and Jakarta EE9 will have the Jakarta namespace, will have support for Java SE11. We will be removing some of the deprecated specifications. We will have no new specification except of from few that are from Java SE, and very minor enhancements to some specs. And then once we have the Jakarta E9 release with Eclipse Glassfish 6.0, we are going to focus on the work of the for Jakarta E10, and it is going to be the first community-driven release. So we're looking forward to that. So as I said, what is the Jakarta E really, Jakarta E9 focusing on? Beside the things that we already listed, we do want to make sure that we lower the entry barriers for the vendors and compatible implementations to be compatible with the Jakarta E9. We want to establish the base for the to use the Jakarta E8, sorry, Jakarta E9 as platform for innovation and enable community to further work on the future releases. And then with the major change being the namespace change, we want to make sure that we enable developers to easily migrate to the new namespace. And we're hoping that additional project that is being part of the Eclipse is at the Eclipse actually Foundation. The Transformer project will enable developers to do that. So please have your eyes and ears open with regards to the Release 9 and the Transformer project, and take advantage of that. So we're also aiming to provide a milestone release for the developers to kind of get involved a little bit earlier and test what we're working on and provide us feedback. So we're expecting the milestone release late June. As always, I cannot really commit the dates, as we're working really hard to achieve the milestone release that will be meaningful for developers to test on. And it will be platform specification, platform TCK, and then Eclipse Glassfish 6.0 will be part of these release. You can also have a look at the link provided below, the Jakarta EE release plan, and find more details in there. So as we were saying, tons of opportunities for improvement and innovation. We want to provide better support for cloud native architectures. We want to increase the pace of innovation. And please note that, we had Jakarta E8 in September. We're hoping that, in fall, we will have the full Jakarta E9 release. We want to work on the integration with Kubernetes. And we're really hoping that with release 9, we will inspire many tools to pick up the Jakarta E9 that will enable developers to further pick up the specifications and start working on it. So we have heard from the development, from the community on what we should focus on. And this is the list, and you will see, and if you remember, the technical direction already has some of this incorporated. But as we are working on the future releases and planning for the future releases of Jakarta E specifications, we certainly want to hear more and get community further involved. So this is noted, and we will be reaching out and looking for the feedback from the community, particularly with regards to release 10. So how are we trying to engage with the community? So I'm not sure if you have had the chance last year to be involved in our Jakarta One live stream, but to mark the Jakarta E8 release, we had our first virtual conference, Jakarta One live stream. That was really, really successful. So with that in mind, we continued with the Jakarta One live stream Japan. We had this conference for Japanese Java developers, and it happened in I believe, late February this year, of course. We have over 200 participants dialing in. We just recently finished Jakarta One live stream CN4J. Again, some of the organizers of J Nation, Roberto, I'm going to have to mention your name again, were participating in this in this conference as well. So we had over 550 participants, and we're looking to organize another Jakarta One live stream in Brazil for Portuguese-speaking Java developers. We're also going to organize one, let's call it annual Jakarta One live stream in September. So if there are developers out there who would be interested to organize live stream, Jakarta One live stream for their, specific language and Java developers within specific region, please get in touch and let me know. We have participated in many conferences, even though COVID situation is definitely drastically changing the way we're collaborating in conferences. Please take some time and take advantage of Jakarta Tech Talks, Jakarta EE update, monthly update calls. have a look at the blogs. I'm providing links in this presentation, so it will be available later on to you. We're just starting with the Studio Jakarta EE channel. Our developer advocate Ivar Grimstad is leading the effort with the Studio Jakarta EE. We are just compiling results of the developer survey, and by the end of June, we will let you know with our latest findings. Everyone who has a need, particularly Java user groups, you can take advantage of the Jakarta EE provided service from Crowdcast and schedule your meetings. And we can all recognize the need for virtual meetings as opposed to face-to-face meetings. We have created Adopt a Spec program for JUGs. So if there are JUGs out there who are particularly interested in any in a specific Jakarta specification, we would more than welcome you to to adopt a spec and be advocate for the particular specification and work on it. We enabled individual participation in working groups. So if there are individuals out there, I know I talked quite a bit about the organizations that are involved in Jakarta EE working group, but if you are interested to participate into evolving of Jakarta EE as the individual, you are absolutely welcome to do so, and we have simplified that for you. And then if you're interested in any of the resources available in the About Jakarta EE, you can always visit the community folder and have even some of the presentations and some of the slides are from that presentation that we made available to the community as well. So please take advantage of that and use it into your local JUGs or your meetups to inspire people to get involved in Jakarta EE. So with all of this, just a quick illustration that our subscriptions in the project mailing lists are growing, and I'm inviting you to have a look at the project mailing lists and subscribe and get information about various projects that way. This is also just quickly to show you that, yes, there are many changes in community participation. This slide is from the 2019, and you can see due to the contribution and the move to Eclipse Foundation, we did have quite a bit of contributions made by Oracle. But then you can see that this is changing even in the first quarter of the 2020. So we have quite a different pie chart here with far bigger involvement from the community, and you can see that Oracle is not as dominant in terms of the commits as it was throughout 2019, which is absolutely great to see, and it is showing the community responsiveness in terms of being involved in Jakarta EE.
Sorry, Tanja, is the other are those individual contributors?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes. Yeah. So the individual contributors are part of this, almost 50%, which is amazing to see, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
So how to get involved? So there are tons of work that we need help with. Um, just marketing and promotional work is aspect that we need help with. There is tons of technical work with TCKs, with specifications, with implementations. There is also the what we call collateral works. So any presentations, recently we had a Jakarta EE sticker produced by the community. There are many different ways on how you can get involved. Not to neglect the bug reporting, and part of the reason that is part of the reason for providing the milestone release before for the Jakarta E9. So please get involved. Let us know how you can help, and we'll make sure we enable you to help out. So all of these are hyperlinks. So how you can get involved, subscribe to the mailing list, be informed the upcoming events, and do let us know once you have the event so we can promote the event related to Jakarta EE you're involved in. You can, always do technical work with at GitHub. You can present at the Jakarta Tech Talks, write blog posts, and also you can get involved in Slack channels. There is a channel, the workspace dedicated to Jakarta EE development. And if you are part of a JUG, there is a JUG Slack channel there as well, so you can take advantage of that also. And now, how to get involved in Jakarta EE specification projects. So all you need to do is become a contributor. And here's the link to Eclipse contributor agreement. You can have a look, and with that, you're good to go in to start contributing. If over time you want to become a committer and get even more privileges and more involved, we will be notified once you are elected by your project members to become a committer. And with that, we will help you out with any paperwork that is needed to become a committer on Jakarta EE specification projects. But you don't, of course, need to wait for that. You can start as a contributor right after this talk. Okay, so here is what you can do to subscribe to the mailing list. And with that, I want to invite you to absolutely consider joining and becoming a Eclipse Foundation member. Join and become Jakarta EE working group member, and invite you to participate in open source cloud native Java projects. I'm not sure if we have enough time, but I can go on and talk to you about a little bit more about the Eclipse Foundation. But I know that we're like just a couple of minutes short of the cutoff line, and I would like to see if there are any questions that I may be answering.
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes left. Yes. I don't believe we have any questions I've been asking, but I think no one has something yet. But I do have a comment.
Yes.
So for me, it was actually, well, first of all, thank you so much for your presentation. It was great. Second, it was really surprising to see how many individual contributors already are there on the Jakarta slash micro. I'm guessing that I didn't ask, but I'm guessing that reflects both Jakarta and MicroProfile and a couple other projects, right?
No, it's actually
just
reflecting.
Jakarta.
Yeah, just Jakarta EE.
Okay.
And I have to say that we're trying to differentiate between the organizations and the individual contributors. So yeah, I am thrilled with that pie chart. and we're going to monitor every quarter and report back to the community to see how are we doing, and further enable the individual participation.
Because my general feeling is, especially because I'm being linked into the Java EE world, now Jakarta world, for so long, I've been doing that for the last 10 years, even more, is people or developers became frustrated all the time because they have little control, or they have little way to contribute, or little way to influence some of the decisions that we're making, either on the APIs, either on the document or whatever, right? And with the Eclipse Foundation, and with the move from Jakarta EE, from a closed source project to the open source, and with all these awesome work that the Eclipse Foundation has been putting around these projects, it's really awesome to see people actually getting interested into it, and starting to contribute, and making Jakarta E as a really great open source project where people can influence the decisions and the direction that the project's gonna go, right?
Yep. Well, thank you, Roberto. I will. Me being a Jakarta program manager is definitely it's thrilling to see. And you know, if there are any questions, or if you'd like to be part of Jakarta story, or any other cloud native Java related project, I would strongly encourage you to get in touch, and you know, we'll make sure to help you out, and you know, make an impact on the technology.
Wonderful. Okay, Tanya, I think we're pretty much out of time. So thank you again for your presentation, and for being here with us. Hopefully you can be here in Portugal next year.
Thank you so much, and thanks for you know, inviting me and having me here today.
Yeah, it was
Bye
a
for now.
pleasure. Yeah, okay. See you, Tanya. Bye bye.
See you. Bye, everyone. Thank you.